Monday afternoon live stream. I'm your host, Peter, and I'm joined this week by David, as you might guess.
That's right. I'm here and I am ready to party, Peter.
Well, I'm glad you're ready to party, David, because we have got a party topic for you this week to help you practice your English, grow in your confidence to speak and understand English. It's New Year's, you know?
Happy New Year!
It's, well, not quite yet, but
quite yet.
Yes, Happy New Year in advance. Today is Monday the 30th, of course. New Year's Eve will be tomorrow night, and then the first day of the new year will be Wednesday, January 1st. And of course, this is the, would we call it the Western New Year? Or just to distinguish it?
Yeah, maybe we can just call it the Western New Year. I always get confused with that, of how to say Happy New Year to people. It's like, Happy First New Year? Happy Western New Year?
Yes, Happy calendrical New Year.
Gregorian New Year.
Gregorian New Year. Yeah. Calendrical, just a fancy adjective form of the word calendar. If something has to do with, the new year on the calendar starts this Wednesday. But in Chinese culture, of course, it starts in about a month or so. Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Good afternoon. Today I'm going to start drawing the journey of Christmas. And this year's New Year's, I'm celebrating with my family. My birthday is almost coming that my family is preparing. Steve,
Happy
it's
birthday.
A party time for you, definitely.
Yeah,
Good to have you with us.
We would love to see your drawing whenever you have it done. Maybe you can send us a picture to the advanced@studioclassroom.com. Is that an email?
Yeah, or you can always post a link in the comments. I think we could get to it that way if you have some kind of a website page of your own.
That's right.
But yeah, Steve is drawing, he says here, The Journey of Christmas, which was the name of our Christmas show here at Studio Classroom this year. So looking forward to that. Steve.
Happy New Year to you too, B.
B, an early Happy New Year to teachers, an early Happy New Year to you as well. So yes, as you might have guessed, as we've kind of said, we are going to talk about New Year's Eve, specifically New Year's Eve party, social situation, words that might come up that will help you have an even better time at a New Year's Eve party if you celebrate that way. And that leads us right to our poll question. Just how much do you celebrate on New Year's Eve? Specifically, how late do you stay up on New Year's Eve? Into the wee hours, fireworks, and maybe a singer or two on TV. Midnight, I'm in bed by 1 minute after midnight. I just stay up to midnight and then off to bed. Or New Year's, not a big thing for me. I go to bed at my normal time and the rest of the world can enjoy themselves. And again, that's fine. We just like to get a sense of where we're all coming from. And it looks like, excuse me, a little bit of a cold today, but I'm feeling okay. But into the wee hours, about a third of you out there stay up into the wee hours. Wee, a wonderful little term from Scotland. Scottish term means very small. A wee hours, in this case, staying up late. It's funny, I don't know why they call it the wee hours, because it has nothing to do with how big or small they are. It just means late, past midnight.
Yeah.
I guess the numbers are small.
The numbers are small.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess those are
little hours.
Wee little hours. But yeah, a third of you stay up until the wee hours. Normal bedtime was for a moment they were tied with wee hours, but now normal bedtime is up to 40% of you go to bed at a normal time on New Year's Eve. Thank you very much. And excuse me, about 20% of you go to bed 1 minute after midnight. And just a couple of you stay for fireworks and maybe a singer or two. I think that's about me, really. Whether I'm actually outside at a concert somewhere, and I'm usually not. But if I'm watching it on TV, then I'll watch the fireworks, especially here in Taipei, the big Taipei 101 fireworks. And then I'll watch a singer or two just because, it's that kind of mood, celebrational kind of mood. How about you, David? How late do you stay up on New Year's Eve? I'm guessing by your dress, I'm thinking I might guess your answer. But.
Well, my favorite New Year's that I've ever had in Taipei has been at a friend's house with my wife. We were dating at the time. It was her friend. They had a rooftop with some fake grass on their roof. Her friend did. And they also had a view of Taipei 101. And so I just went over there, we had some wine, we saw the fireworks from their roof, and then there were a bunch of separate rooms that we could all sort of go and crash at, or fall asleep in afterwards. We didn't have to
Crash,
go home.
another word for sleep at someone else's place.
Because my least favorite thing is having to get home after midnight on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
That's my least favorite thing. I went to the Taipei 101 fireworks one time. It was great, it was fun, it was amazing. I don't think I will ever do it again. Because getting home is just so hard. Oh, we got
Sure.
let's see.
B, joshing, countdown. Yes, good word for New Year's Eve, countdown, where we count down the minutes and the hours and the seconds until it's New Year's.
That's right.
And B also says, not much with two little ones at home.
No,
so
you are
yes,
right.
having children is definitely going to condition how late you stay up on New Year's Eve.
For sure.
Practice Noob. Hello, Practice Noob.
Hello.
Good to see you again. I haven't been to New Year Countdown event because there are lots of dangers underlying the crowded area. That is true in our day and age. I will be at home as usual, I guess. Well, Practice Noob, you and me both.
Yeah.
Esther says, good afternoon to
Hello.
you, Esther. And Steve, what does Steve say here?
So it's going to start playing Europe song. The final countdown. He's also going to be going shopping tomorrow to buy some new toys because the big sale is almost coming.
Ah, good. Yes, yeah. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, sometimes sales going on at stores, something to keep in mind. I'll just, normally on New Year's Eve, I'll stay up to the fireworks and then a couple singers maybe. But once when I was younger and living in New York City, I stayed up late, because I was younger and I didn't have kids and I was not even dating anyone at the time, so I could pretty much stay up as late as I wanted to. And I stayed up maybe till 4 o'clock or something at a friend's house where this party was, and then I walked home, and I was living in New York City right at that time.
Wow.
And I walked about 50 blocks from where the party was to my own apartment at like 4 in the morning in New York City, man.
Whoa.
And I never felt so safe because it was New Year's Eve. The streets were filled with people. I mean, it wasn't like New Orleans during the Mardi Gras, but stores were still open, lights were still on, people were walking around having fun at 4 in the morning. So
That's a wonderful memory.
Yeah, if you ever want to walk around New York City late in the wee hours, see if you can schedule a trip there for New Year's Eve. Joshing. Don't relinquish everything next year. Now, joshing, you've got an interesting word there. It could be one of two words. I think you maybe mean relinquish with a Q instead of a G. Relinquish, meaning to give up something. Don't relinquish everything next year. So you're going to carry some of your 2024 practices and preferences into the new year is what I understand you to be saying. But good vocab word. Relinquish, again with a Q instead of a G. Very close. So here we are, the live stream. What are we here for? Vocab. Let's give you some vocab about New Year's. First one, nice big word, kind of sums up the whole New Year's Eve party event, and that word is anticipation. Anticipation. It used to be a song in the 1970s. Anticipation is making me wait. That's a song you might hear at a New Year's Eve party if you go, because what does anticipation mean?
It means that you are excited about something. You're waiting for it. You want it to happen, but it has not happened yet. So you're anticipating it. Like if someone is baking cookies and you can smell the cookies and they smell so good and you're just...
But you can't eat them yet.
You can't eat them yet. You have to wait until they're finished baking. So for now, you're just anticipating how good they will taste.
Yes, and that's New Year's, isn't it? We're anticipating the arrival of the new year, the end of the old year, in a big sense, and then on the evening itself, we're anticipating, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, it's almost midnight. Anticipation, big part of New Year's Eve.
That's right.
Brian, 17. Hello, Brian. It's time for another New Year's resolution. Yes, we have some vocab around the word resolution today, but not actually the word resolution itself, because clearly you guys already know it, so good for you.
Yeah, Candace has the same idea as me. She watches the 101 fireworks from the top of her apartment each year. so she doesn't have to worry about getting stuck in traffic.
Smart.
Very smart. That's my kind of New Year's Eve right there.
Absolutely, yeah. Just live in an apartment with a view of the river or of Taipei 101, depending on which city you're in. That's usually where they set off the fireworks, is next to some big monument or over the river. Okay, so our next word, an even longer one than anticipation, if you can believe it. But this is advanced. We think you guys can handle it. And that word is extravaganza.
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 What are we talking about?
An extravaganza is like a really big party or event. Something that it's going to have lots of people, lots of food, lots of drink, just lots of things going on. 很热闹, like a very exciting big party.
Right. Not a quiet little dinner with friends. This is big. This is presidential inauguration big. This is the Taiwan baseball team wins the championship big, And you don't just have a party, you don't just have a celebration, although you do. I mean, that's literally what it is. But we call it an extravaganza to suggest that it's really going to be bigger than normal, extraordinarily big. Steve, my parents told me don't go to New Year's concert because big crowds and people will start fighting others. Which is not far from the truth. So I always stayed at home watching the fireworks, and my apartment can watch that far away. There's some urban legend mixed into that, but sure, I mean, you get big crowds together in a party atmosphere. There are going to be people who are drinking. There are going to be people who are sort of a little too caught up in the anticipation, and there's always a jerk out there somewhere who just is looking to get in a fight. But we don't want to scare people off from New Year's Eve parties or from watching the fireworks in public. From what I understand, it's mostly quite safe.
Yeah, especially here on the island. You're going to have a much better time watching the fireworks in a public place here in Taiwan than you would in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
Like Philadelphia. Exactly. All right, we also have a music/dance extravaganza.
Yes, Josh.
That's another way to use that.
And that's often the way you'll hear it, is they'll combine terms. What's it going to be? Well, it's a show. It's going to have music and dance. It's going to be a musical dance extravaganza.
Yeah.
And at a New Year's party, here's a wonderful New Year's Eve term. You often drink, and I bet you guys know this one. I bet you know this one. Champagne. The New Year's Eve, you don't just have wine, you have champagne, that sparkly liquor, that sparkly wine, looks like ginger ale, but it's got alcohol in it, champagne. But you know what another word for that is that you can impress your friends with? Don't ask for a glass of champagne at your next New Year's Eve party. Ask for a glass of bubbly. Yes, bubbly, bubbly.
Bubbly.
And we call it bubbly, of course, because it has all the bubbles and because it's light colored. You can see the bubbles. And so if someone offers you asks if you want a glass of bubbly, they mean a glass of champagne. And by all means say yes. Okay. Our discussion question for today, you guys have already chimed in here in the comments. Feel free to keep doing that. But here's another thing to chew on if you like. Who was it? Brian said it's time for another New Year's resolution. Haha. Well, how about it? Any New Year's resolutions out there? Anyone you want to share about?
Gym membership.
Walk around the island, once or something. I don't know.
Ride your bike around the island.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I have any New Year's resolutions. I oftentimes have, instead of New Year's resolutions, I try to make, kind of ideas that I want to pursue in the new year.
Yes.
Yeah. I think one of my main ideas this year is just getting to know my wife in a fresh way.
How about that?
You marry somebody, you think you know them, and then the longer you're married to them, the more you realize, wow, this person has many mysteries for me to still continue learning.
Yes.
And I would like to make that more of a focus in the new year.
Good thought. I think, I don't know if I would call this a resolution, but I do want to give more attention to learning Chinese in the new year. I've been here several years. I'm married to a bilingual wife, so I just have never had a really strong motive to learn Mandarin, I'm sorry to say. Nothing like you guys out there learning English along with your Mandarin and whatever other languages you might have. But I think 2025 is the year I'm going to try and focus more on that.
Nice.
And see how that goes. But
we got a couple things here.
Steve, I'm going shopping later at Taipei Main Station to look for New Year's Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
And Tarmac works cars later for my New Year's gifts. And speaking of champagne, I'll go buy some ice cream later. Well, ice cream and champagne.
Ice cream and champagne.
Party at Steve's for New Year's.
Practice Noobs got a really good question. How do you say 热闹 in English? And before I even had a chance to answer, Jiaxing actually gave a really good answer. Bustling, or another word you could use is lively. Those are both good ways to describe 热闹.
热闹. I've got the tones right there?
Yeah, actually.
热闹. So,
he's already started. Look, it's not even 2025 yet.
So the New Year's Eve party I went to was 热闹.
Yes,
it
excellent.
Was full of energy and bustling like a busy city street at rush hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And Steve, my New Year's resolutions are making my workstation clean.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, not every New Year's resolution has to be about knowing our wives better or learning a new language. Just keep your workstation clean.
That's good enough.
Start simple. Yeah. Treating my family to a good meal. Steve, I wish I was part of your family. And also good health every year. Yes, very good one. All right, and B, good luck on your language learning journey, Peter. Thank you, B. I need all the help I can get. I hope you have great teachers like I do. Oh, B, thank you.
Stop.
Thank you very much.
Agatha is going to lose 5 pounds by exercising or dieting. She's going to finish 3 books and make more English native friends and bring at least one non-believer to the church.
Way to go, Agatha.
Way to go, Agatha. That's an awesome resolution. Praise the Lord.
And Practice Noob says thanks to
Jiaxing and Teacher David.
Right, and
You're
Teacher
welcome.
David. And Jiaxing, bubble water means bubbly. No,
not
good
quite.
question. It's close, right? Bubble water, by which I assume you mean carbonated water, is what they make champagne out of, or what it is in the glass. But it's not just water, of course. It's got alcohol in it. It's got a white wine grape that has been used to make it, and it does bubble like bubbly water. But you only bubbly, when you say, hand me a glass of bubbly, you're just talking about champagne.
Yeah.
Not Coke, not Sprite, not 7-Up.
Yeah.
Just bubbly is reserved for champagne.
That's right.
Well, we are almost out of time here already today, but let's see if we can throw you just a couple more here. Let's give you an expression. Talking about New Year's resolution, here's an expression, maybe you know it. How about this? Turn over a new leaf.
Turn over a new leaf.
And you should see that in quote marks because it's an expression. Turn over a new leaf. What do we mean by that?
If you turn over a new leaf, it means that you're giving your life a new start, a new perspective on something. Maybe you move to a new city and start a new job because you want to turn over a new leaf. It's sort of like turning the page in a book, right?
Right.
You've been doing this for a long time, had the same job, the same place, the same life, but you want something new. You want to turn over a new leaf. Usually it's kind of making a positive change.
Yes, it's usually used, we rarely say he turned over a new leaf and became a jerk. If we use that expression, if you hear someone use it, it usually means they've made a positive change of some sort. And you're right to compare it to turning the pages of a book, because pages of a book historically were referred to as leaves.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So this isn't something that comes from walking around a park at autumn and turning over this leaf and turning over that leaf that have fallen from the trees.
Right.
This is leaves in the sense of pages of a book. You turn over a new leaf, a new chapter in the book you're reading, a new section, a new beginning.
That's right. And yes, our dear teacher Peter does have a cold presently.
I do.
So he has a voice kind of like a jazz singer. I think it's very handsome. And thank you for your well wishes. I also wish him a speedy recovery.
Thank you all very much. And in return, let's give you one last bit of vocab here, and it's another expression, a shorter one this time, but again, kind of related to New Year's resolutions and turning over a new leaf, and that expression is blank slate.
Blank slate.
A blank Slate. What's
Blank
a
slate.
blank slate?
A blank slate, oftentimes people use this to refer to like a baby that has just been born. They are a blank slate. They have no experiences yet. They have no opinions about anything. They're new to this world. They can take in anything and become a totally different person.
Right. And what's the image we always see of the new year? A baby.
A baby. That's
a
right.
baby.
That's right. Yeah.
The new year is a blank slate. Nothing's happened yet.
Right.
Nothing has been written on the slate. We could, these days, if we were coining terms, we might say it's a blank whiteboard. We have a whiteboard right here.
Yeah.
But blank slate is a little simpler, a little more poetic. That's the idea. The new year ahead of us is a blank slate, and the beginning of that year is a time to think about what we might want to write on the slate in terms of our lives.
Right. Yeah, and actually, good word, Agatha. It kind of like innocent or naive.
I don't know about naive. It is more. It's more of a neutral term. A blank slate could go either way. You know, we started with a blank slate, and usually that means that it's used to express potential. That you can do, rather than just innocence or even naivete, which is kind of innocence without wisdom. But yeah, I can see where you would get the sense where you would associate those words, and they're not worlds away. But again, blank slate by itself is kind of like a blank page, going back to the book image, on which you can write whatever you may write.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. So this then draws to a conclusion our final live stream for 2024.
That's right.
May I just say, you have some one of these too, right? We can do a toast.
Cheers.
We'd like to say cheers to all of you for
That's
your
right.
continued hard work at learning English and being a part of this Monday live stream. It is as fulfilling for us as I hope it is educational for you, and we'd just like to wish you all a very Merry New Year.
That's right.
And a happy 2025.
Ganbei.
Ganbei.
I wish we had bubbly in these.
Well,
We can't drink at work.
that's true.
Anyway, see you guys later.
We'll be back next Monday.
Yeah.
We'll carry on with more words. See you then.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
Cheers.